Hi, I'm Weston. I love talking about the Rangers, and I'm here to talk about Game 27 of the regular season, where the Rangers lose 7-3 to the Toronto Maple Leafs in just wow, probably their worst defensive game of the year. Probably the worst defensive game of the year. Igor Shesterkin was on the ice for 6 goals against. He was on the ice. His ledger tonight includes that he allowed 6 goals. His goal stopped above expected went up on Money Puck from this game. That's it. That's the entire story right there. He let in 6, and if you want to be a super stat nerd about it and just only point to goal stopped above expected, he actually had a slightly better than you'd think night. I am speechless at that. I went on Money Puck to find that, and I was expecting him to probably be at like a, -1.5, maybe a -2. I knew it was a bad performance from the defense. I did not in my wildest dreams expect that. Deserved to win meter was at like 70-30 in favor of Toronto. They murdered him. They absolutely massacred them. Should Shesterkin have had some of them? Yeah. Are 3 of them just definitively not even a little bit on him? Also, yes, probably more than that. This team plays differently with Igor Shesterkin in net than with Jonathan Quick in net. And I've said that a few different times. It's been very apparent to me. But a friend of mine on Instagram, Rangers group chat that I'm in, good old buddy, it's been talking about the silly old Ragners with him for years. Peter, and then it was reposted by another friend of mine who actually has a Rangers page. You should go check him out. NYR Fanatics on Instagram. Posted it. Igor Shesterkin, in his starts to this point, the expected goals against per 60 is 3.21. It's 3.21. And Quick's is 2.20. And they've played enough games to this point. I want to say it's been 9 starts for Jonathan Quick and 16 for Shesterkin. Maybe 17 now for Shesterkin. They would have evened out by this point. This isn't just the first few games. Oh, that's a weird discrepancy. No. When they have Jonathan Quick, and they know the backup's in net, and they know they have to button it up, they button it up. And when Shesterkin's in net, and they think, oh, we can kind of just half-ass it, they half-ass it. I'm losing my mind. And it's very apparent that Shesterkin is still dealing with some form of an injury. He's not at 100% yet. And then on top of that, the defense is letting him hang out to dry more so than usual. And you know that something's got to be going on mentally when Quick goes out and has incredible games. I'm not trying to take anything away from Jonathan Quick. But where the defense tries in front of him, and then for Shesterkin to go out, and if you want to look at goals above expected, just Money Puck stuff, Shesterkin technically did okay. He was mid. He was average. Dead average, basically. And it's got to affect him mentally. Like, it's just... I think it's a disservice at this point to not do a 50-50 split with Shesterkin and Jonathan Quick. It's an absolute... It is at this point bordering on necessity. You've got to do this. Because you can't keep throwing Shesterkin out there to be ripped apart while he's still clearly not at 100%. It's a gut-wrenching game. It's even more gut-wrenching because for a minute you were pulled back in because it's 4-1 Toronto, and then they make it to be 4-3, and you're like, okay, here we go. Here come the Rangers, maybe. Blake Wheeler looked great. Probably his best game as a Ranger. Mika had another one on the power play, which was cool. I want to say, did he have 3 points tonight? Just the 2. He had a solid night. But Aaron got another point, which is cool. Defense was shambolic. There's no other real way to put it. Both the Matthews goals were comical. I think it was the first Marner goal was just... If you're the Rangers, the word embarrassing comes to mind. This is a bad one. This was a really, really bad one. because it's been the slow buildup of things that have been kind of there the past few games. And again, this is one bad week. The Rangers have had a really bad week. They've had 3 losses in the past 4 games. This is a awful loss. Probably the worst one of the season. They're still 19-7-1. They are still a very, very good team. They still, even in a very, very bad loss, had 3 goals. The offense looked fine. It was the problem of the defense getting away from what we know works. And it's very clearly correctable issues that they can flick as a switch on and off whenever they feel like it. So that's why I'm getting upset, and I am definitely irritated that this happened again. But it's nowhere near time to completely blow my top and turn this into the full-blown cursing the world video. We're not there yet. I'm not going to get mad at the Rangers for not being on pace to break the all-time wins record or the all-time points record or the franchise's record for points or wins. I'm not going to do that. But it is incredibly, incredibly frustrating to see that when it's Igor Shesterkin on the ice, they play a totally different game than when it's Jonathan Quick. And I don't know what conversation has to happen for them to fix this, but yeah, it's still early in the season. Game 30 is approaching. Like, you're nearing, obviously it's a ways off because I'm just talking about Game 30, but like, you're beginning to near that like 50-ish%, nearing the 40-ish% of the season being done with. There are a lot of things that you realistically really need to start tightening up right now. And the mental just playing so freaking laid back when Shesterkin's in net has got to be fixed, and it's got to be fixed quick. Because if there is one player on this team that when you enter the playoffs has got to be locked in, it's Igor Shesterkin. And you've got to make sure that he's locked in and he has the confidence and just has the defense in front of him playing at an elite level. Which, again, we know they can play at because I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen it this year. I saw it literally in the last game when you played another really, really good opponent. That you can flick that on and play a really, really good, tight defensive game. I'm not asking for something that hasn't happened. I'm not asking for something that's out of the realm of possibility. I'm asking you to play like that for both goaltenders, and that should not be a large request. They have a few days to get right between the ears. Wednesday and Thursday, they're off. They're back at it Friday night, still in Madison Square Garden, taking on the Anaheim Ducks. And I'll be here afterwards to talk about it, but as for right now, that is all I have to say. So